Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Talkin Kop. It's Sunday, the 1st of September. It's Gav, Keith, and Emmet. It's Manchester United 0, Liverpool 3 from Old Trafford earlier on today, and we're going to have a lovely time talking about this for the next hour or so. If you haven't got the post-match reaction, go and check it out. Chris, Kevin, Ashley covered that off. That's available to watch, and it's available to download as well. So if you were looking for loads of Liverpool content on that win today, we have you covered. Listen, gonna go straight into it, Keith. Big game for both sides. Arne Slot 2 wins from 2 coming into it, and it was like, right, this is supposedly a real test. And then you have Ten Hag, who gets a win against Fulham on the opening game of the season, wasn't it, on the Friday night. They get beaten by Brighton last week, and he's coming in, and it's like, right, this could be the game to kickstart him. And Liverpool just go the same 11, Keith. No messing, no trying to be fucking funny about it, no trying to play tricks. This is their 11. They've won 2 in a row. We're going for 3 in a row. Were you happy with the 11? Did you expect anyone to get in there?
No, didn't expect it. Obviously, we said it sort of during the night on the show that we expected it to be the same team again. Now, I know Konate doesn't start the first game, but his introduction at half-time was the catalyst really for Liverpool looking a hell of a lot more assured at the back, and we carried that into today's game. So I was delighted with the team. I didn't expect any more changes. We may see a few now after the international break when the games start coming a bit more, thick and fast with Champions League and things like that. But no, I expected it to be as it was. And I just want to say, there's been a lot of build-up to this game and a lot of dumbing down of Arne Slot and Liverpool, and they've only beaten Brentford and they've only beaten Ipswich. The real challenge will be now against Manchester United at Old Trafford. Well, a lot of people, will be scurrying to delete tweets or to be backtracking on their comments about it, because what we saw today was an excellent Liverpool team. Different than what we've seen in the past under Jurgen Klopp, who, we say it on this show all the time, greatest manager we've seen at Liverpool. And we've now got Arne Slot, who's tweaking slightly what Klopp built. And he went into the game today not without fear. I wouldn't say Klopp went in with fear. He didn't show them the respect that Klopp maybe showed them at times that they didn't deserve. And we saw a Liverpool team so comfortable going in there and absolutely smashing them. So I think a lot of people, and I don't mean like, people like ourselves, normal people. I mean people on the telly that are, supposedly experts on Sky Sports and Talk Sport that were really running Liverpool down and Slot down. So, delighted with how it went today. Couldn't have been any better. Let's talk about it. Let's fucking lace into them dirty red mank bastards, because I'm going to bleed and hop off them tonight. I hate them.
I've
my wife's sister, right, got tickets for the game today. Our young fella's a United fan, and he went off and she sent me a video and picture of him and all that. I says, I hope he enjoys himself. I hope Liverpool fucking smashed him. And I'm waiting to get the little shit now. He's only bleeding 8. I'm waiting to get a hold of him now to lash him out.
Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe.
He's going to get it.
I'll be at Dublin Airport waiting for that little bollocks to get off the plane. I'm going to hammer him.
That little sign. Like they're getting a lift and just walk off and leave them. Taxi ranks out there. But no, all joking aside, I don't like Manchester United fans. They don't like us. We're very alike, Liverpool and Manchester United, but it's great to see the fucking mire that they're in. Couldn't be happier to see them, because when we were in the same shit 20 years ago and all, they were more than happy to see that. So we're seeing a bit of comeuppance for them. Liverpool are on the up again. We're not going anywhere, but they are absolute light years away from us. Light years away from Liverpool. As a club, as a team, as everything. So long may that continue, because they are rubbish.
Yeah, and I'm gonna get into where they are and where they think they are and where certain people thought they were and where they think they are today. I know there's a lot of thinking going on there, but I'll get into it. It'll explain itself later. But Emma, we go with the same 11, and I've been banging all week saying, listen, just don't play the occasion. Please don't play the occasion. Give Manchester United the football. They're genuinely a team that don't like having the football. That's my opinion. You give it to them, you drop off, and you go, right, go on, what have you got? And they just don't. They pass it into midfield. They don't be brave. They turn back. They play it to a full back. It goes with centre half. goes to keeper, he kicks it towards one of the fellas on the wing, and they go from there. And I just, like, going into it, Emma, that's what was my thing. You could win the game, something free could happen, and you could lose the game. But I just didn't want to play the occasion, and I didn't want to go out and go, right, let's all barrel into United, everyone forward, and they're going, this is great, because that's what they're looking for.
Yeah.
Liverpool's approach was really, really good, wasn't it?
Yeah, look, they were always going to come out of the traps 100 mile an hour. It's Old Trafford. They can't do anything else. They can't sit back. So you were right. We didn't play the occasion. We were calm, didn't panic where you would have probably seen us panic in the past. We passed the ball around. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I think people are coming around to now there's a method to the madness. And you saw it today. Gave them 20 minutes or so and then decided, right, is that all you have? And then we literally took over. Starting with the offside goal. And then just like Slot said in his post-match interview as well, he said we didn't kind of let up from there. He said it was glad that we just kept going after getting that goal. We didn't kind of sit back again. But I think it's brilliant. You're always a little bit worried going into these games. I was worried that maybe we would have a bad start to the game like we did against Ipswich, and these would get a goal against us. But we didn't. We were calm, composed. We lost the ball a few times. Diaz turned it over a few times. I'd say there was a few people calling. I know certainly in a few group chats I'm in, they were saying get Diaz off about 2-3 minutes before he scored. But he did turn the ball over a few times. But just our press, winning the ball back. The only thing I found in the first half was we were winning the ball back and then we were giving it back to them nearly straight away. It was after the 20 minutes, 25 minutes where we literally, when we won the ball back, that was it. We were holding on to it and they weren't getting it. But really impressive, really impressive. I don't think there was a point where I thought they were going to score. Maybe Xerxes' header or whatever, but like when you've got the world's best goalkeeper in goal, and he made it look like a routine save. And then if people going, how in God's name has he saved that? He literally made it look routine. So delighted. Like I said, I was a bit worried going in. I thought they had their tails up after winning the transfer window. But no, turns out to be a routine win. Probably our easiest win of the season so far.
Yeah. The lads on the lads. I'm gonna say lads. People go. Oh, there was a woman on the post-match show, but I call everyone the lads. It doesn't matter what gender they are. I just say the lads, right? But the lads on the post-match show cover all, every little incident and stuff. What we try to do on a Sunday night is pick out some players, look at the goals, and little bit things in between. But Keith, I am going to go on to this later, and I don't watch pre and post match stuff, but Kev O'Sullivan said to me, you have to watch these 2 videos of the Sky stuff after the game, right? So I did. I'm going to let you know that, right? And we get on to that later. But Manchester United go into that game today, right? And they're looking at it and they're saying to themselves, right, if they should be really looking at it and going, right, this crowd love to play the ball around the back now, even more than they have. They have a guy who's 20 years of age, 21 maybe, in Gravenberch, playing as their deepest player. They have a midfield three that are probably just getting to know each other over the last month or so on the pitch, right? We should be all over them in midfield. We should be trying to play through them gaps. We should be manipulating it with Fernandes, with Garnacho, with Rashford, with Xerxes, with Mainu, looking to play in that area in the middle of the pitch and pull them around a little bit. Try get Rashford at or Garnacho at Trent, try get, whoever. And they just don't do it. They just don't do it, right? And Liverpool for the first 10 minutes are like, let's see how we're getting on. Let's not go gung-ho. Let's not give them a goal, give them momentum. And it's all about momentum in this Liverpool side. Not just having it, but making sure you choke any momentum out of the opposition. That's what it's about. If they're threatening, we get the ball and we're keeping it. 2 or 3 minutes. Keep it. If they're not threatening, we have the ball and we just decide and we go for you. We go after you. But, we all think United are poor. But Keith, come on. They're at home, right? They're trying to win this game. And they didn't try once. Sorry, 22, Ashley says. In my head, he's always about 19. But they should have been looking and going, where's the perceived weak points here? Right, don't launch balls in the box. Kanate and Van Dijk are really good there. Our fullbacks, Robertson's good defensively. Could you get a Trent or Garnacho thing? But they didn't try any of that, Keith. They tried none of that. They just keep hitting these diagonal balls. And Liverpool just went, like Emmet said, is that all you have? And Liverpool, then what they done was, Liverpool decided to say, really compact in what we're doing. Not in a boring way, but really, we'll protect it. And we'll back air front six to hurt you. United didn't do that at all. Like, I think it's madness watching them. Absolute madness watching them.
Speaking of the pre-post match sort of stuff, I did watch on Sky today, and Roy Keane obviously was pretty fucking damning at them. I think they're a disgraceful team at home. Casemiro puts in an absolute bleeding stink bomb of a performance. But I'll tell you one thing, Kobbie Mainoo was not far behind him. He's been fucking awful so far this season, and he's avoiding criticism. He was dirt against bleeding Brighton. James Milner absolutely bleeding pocketed him in that, and he has not been good. Now we can put that down to the fact that he's playing against a fella whose legs are gone and whose spirit is gone. But he was dirt as well, Kobbie Mainoo. And if your young local players, Marcus Rashford coming in for stick, if you're young local, they sold Scott McTominay, who I thought you probably should have kept because he has that bit about him. If your players like that are not, Casemiro, Varane when he was there, they've no hunger because they've won it all. They got their paydays and they didn't have that desire. And Casemiro was showing it now, absolute free falling off a cliff like never before. But when your local young players are doing that midfield that they had out there, Bruno Fernandes, we know, has no fight in him. He is an excellent footballer, right? He's a brilliant footballer, but he doesn't have fight. And if you're up against it, he loses the head. And you could see it happening all day today. Right in the league game, was it the league game last year, wasn't it, that he caught us with the bleeding, the dinger on Kwanzaa's mistake. Generally, when we got ahead of them, he fucking fouls. And with a midfield of them three, I was not worried at all about Manchester United. They're at home, Gav, and they should be coming into that game. With their tails up. They've got beaten by Brighton, right? They felt they played well. They felt hard done by with the Xerxes getting up off the ground and lead, kicking the ball in off the line, right? Ridiculous, carry on. They felt hard done by in that Brighton game. So they had something to say, right? We weren't great against Fulham at home. We feel we were unlucky against Brighton and we came out the wrong side of that. Now it's the biggest game of our season. It's a home game against Liverpool. Make no mistakes, not Man City. It's the home game against Liverpool, biggest game of their season. We can get out there. They've a new manager that they look okay, but they've, both games Liverpool played, they've been first half slow, second half amazing. What do we need to do? We need to get into them strong from the very start. And they do for the first 5 minutes, right? So they do get in and try to start strong. But as you have said, it soon becomes evident that these do not have a game plan. They do not have the bottle for the battle. They don't have anything to get through this game today. I'm looking at their signings.
I can't see patterns of play though.
There's none. There's no system.
And listen, people are going on there, 600 million they've spent and boom, whatever, right? My thing about it is that I don't think it matters who they sign, and I don't want to get into the whole United thing here. I'm going to get into Liverpool in a minute, but I don't think it matters who they sign if they continue to play like this. Like if I have Rashford, Garnacho, Fernandes behind Xerxes, right? I'm saying to myself, right, Dalot is very steady. The other guy is actually is decent. Mazraoui, is that his name? He's good. He's decent, right? But I'm saying to myself, where can I hurt this? I can probably hurt him in the full-back position, and I can definitely get at this guy that's sitting deep. And why can't we move it around? Put the ball into them positions and let us play. Let us interchange. Let us move the ball about. Even if it's one or two passes there and get out wide, you're pulling Liverpool around. But I just watched it going, these are going nowhere. And I suppose, Emmet, you probably have to give credit to Liverpool on that, because Liverpool just go, you do what you want there. Yeah. Right? And we'll deal with it when we need to deal with it. But you could see Liverpool's patterns of play, even from goal kicks, from throw-ins, even when the game settled down and we had to go back to the centre-backs, we could see Gravenberch, and I'll get on to him in a minute, really coming in and going, look, give me the ball, I'll pop it off, I'll go here. And there was people moving all over the place. It was night and day what these were trying to do. And I know people are saying, this is his third season, Slot is only here 3 months. Liverpool can get better. There's still frailties in Liverpool, and it's not perfect. But you can see what Liverpool are trying to do, and you can nearly accept if something goes wrong. You can go, listen, that's going to happen.
That's right.
We have to be allowed. That has to be allowed at times. But this stuff that's happening with United is just constantly happening, and no one's changing anything. And you can't even work out why it's happening. You know what I mean? And I don't mean that you obviously can. You can look and go, that's just shy. But what I mean is that if they were trying something and it didn't come off, you go, look, they were trying what they're learning and stuff. But that's not the case. It seems like they get the ball over the half line and go, what will we do now? There's no patterns. Nothing.
No. And come here, look, and not to go back to transfer windows, but that's what happens when you're bringing in 4 and 5 new players every season. You don't get a chance to come up. Now, he's had 3 seasons. I'm not sure he has it. Does he have a style of play? I know he had a style of play at Ajax, but it was a completely different set of players up against a completely substandard set of teams. You're in the big boys league now. And you're right. With Liverpool, it's like you can see what they're trying to do. And yeah, they will make mistakes. And we did make mistakes today. But some of the football is lovely. You can see the triangles. You can see the movement from us. But with them, it's like trying the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. It's going to be the same outcome every time. And it's I don't want to say it's sad because I hate them as much as Keith hates them. But I think what did they got 2 draws out of us at Old Trafford last year? They got 2 draws
both league games. Yeah.
And then the FA Cup, but they were more so with us being bad rather than them being good. And I think they've lost the run of themselves. Fans and quite possibly the team as well. And now we've rocked up, and Slot has spent all summer looking at what were Liverpool's issues last year. He said it, I think, after maybe the Ipswich game or the Brentford game. And he just needed to make small changes. And that was when we got on the ball, we weren't bombing forward. We were taking our time. That I was chatting to somebody earlier on, why isn't Diaz running at the defender? Well, I said, I think that's probably what Slot wants because there's probably nobody up to support him. So there's no point in him running, losing it, and then we're on the back foot again. He's corrected that now. Ten Hag has had 3 years and hasn't corrected anything.
But the main issue for me with United is like Liverpool are being proactive in what they're doing. Proactive off the ball, proactive on the ball. And people will say, well, are they? Because sometimes they just slow it down. That's being proactive because what you're doing is you're actually getting yourself set to what you've been taught and what you're being drilled to do. United are very reactive. So when they're asked to actually go and create something, I think they struggle. I think if Liverpool come out and went, right, okay, Salah up high, Diaz up high, Jota inside them, let's get Szoboszlai and McAllister in behind that, let's leave Gravenberch to man that midfield, let's get our fullbacks up, and then you're kind of going, now there's room in behind your fullbacks, now there's room in around Gravenberch, and they're happy to sit back and go, right, we'll spring from there. That's reactive, and reactive is okay at times. But when you're constantly reactive to the situation, what's going on in the game, you've no control over the game. What you're doing is you're hoping, and United do this. United are hoping that you'll either lose the ball 30 yards from their goal or 30 yards from your goal. They're not interested in the middle bit. Because in the middle bit, I think you have a lot of individuals. Right? I think if Rashford is an individual. I think Fernandes is an individual. I think Garnacho, he borders on, I think he's a hard worker, but I think he borders on individual. Right? And when you have all them players and you're not proactive, it's going to hurt you all the time. There's no interest in there. It's only these areas where can the ball be lost? Where can a second ball be won? And then they're not even winning second balls. You know, let's go on to, we go through the goals in a minute. Keith, I'm going to start with you though. I want to talk about Ryan Gravenberch. Now, we've banged on all summer about needing a midfielder. I still said it on Friday night. I think we needed a midfielder. And I've everything crossed that I'm wrong and we get through the season and minimum injuries, suspensions, whatever, drops in form are minimal. He was really good away at Ipswich. I watched him in the flesh against Brentford and I thought he was so good as well. And today he was the same. And there's bigger tests to come. Much, much bigger tests to come, you know. But what I'm liking about him, Keith, is he's keeping it very simple when he needs to. He's opening up his legs and he's going when he needs to. He drops the shoulder lovely, and once he gets 2 strides, it's just like he done some. Was it Mainu? Was it Mainu in the second half? Was it? And he just dropped the shoulder and made 2 strides, and he was just gone. And it was like the whole pitch opened up. But very responsible in everything he was doing. Interceptions, cutting out balls. We're looking to get in behind fullbacks. He's been so good, and all I want to see is that trajectory going up and up and up, because the only way you can make him get better at this, more used to it, is to keep playing him. And even if it happens in a big game and it doesn't quite happen for him, play him the next week. It's not going to be pitch perfect all the time. But today I thought, again, his control of the game, his awareness of the game, the position he was in, I can't say enough about him.
Yeah, look, he's been fucking brilliant. He has been brilliant all season. And someone in the chat said it there, all the ex-Ajax players that are leading, strolling around there, and he was the best of the lot. He's brilliant. I think he's a player that when Liverpool were linked with him, and we saw all the local patch journals coming out talking about, not when we bought him, remember we were linked with him before he went to Bayern Munich, and they were saying,
that's why Gal still thinks from when we were linked with him.
Just stuck in time. 19-year-old Ryan Gravenberch.
But didn't they have him? They said that they felt that he was with Jude Bellingham and someone else as three of the best talents in world football under.
And couldn't get into a Bayern midfield then because of Kimmich and whoever was sitting beside him. They feel they couldn't get him in.
Goretzka, yeah. And look, this happens. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can go. I mean, he won the Young Player of the Year in Ajax. I think he broke into that team when he was 16, and I think when he was sort of 18, he was dominating over there. So he's a player that's had huge potential, huge. And he makes the wrong move in his career. He goes to Bayern Munich. And look, Bayern Munich are a great club. They're a big club. You can understand the player going there. But similar to the like of other young players, previously like Renato Sanchez, making the wrong move at the wrong time can really set you back. Gravenberch went there and he got out of it quick enough. And he came to Liverpool and we get him at, 21. And last season, he showed glimpses of what he can do. Underwhelming maybe, but, again, he didn't solidify a place in the team. He was coming in and out. He looked good. He looked like he had potential to be something, but maybe not the double pivot. Maybe you're thinking his skill set was he's a ball carrier. He can get the ball and he can get you from the edge of your box to the edge of their box.
He's where Salah's is in this team. That's what you're thinking.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. That's what you thought he was going to be. But now everyone's panicking. We don't have a number 6. We don't have this. We don't have that. And for the way Slot wants to play, he is made for it, because there was a video of Rondo or something was on the other day. Did you see that one from the inside training or something? And it's just bang, 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 passes, first time, not looking, whipping them just around the corner, everything under pressure. And that's why I think he's excellent, because he doesn't panic under pressure. He'll take a ball in when there's 2 players close to him and he'll pop it off, or like you said, he'll drop his shoulder, he'll spin and he'll go.
There's times he lets that ball run across him.
Yeah.
And as it's running across him, he just takes a touch and you're like, that he's 5 yards clear, that guy. I don't know how he's done it. And like
he's excellent at it. Excellent.
He's brilliant at it. But like, I'll let Emma go in a minute on this, but Keith, how much is I'm not saying Ryan Gravenberch is just the best 6 on the planet or anything like it.
No.
But how much of the setup is helping him? Because when I look at the setup, I think, we kind of get, when Gravenberch's there, you kind of see Szoboszlai and McAllister. And I don't know if they're just to be around them. They just seem to angle themselves where they go, you're not getting the ball through that passing lane to get near this fella in the 6. They're kind of staggered up the pitch, and you kind of go, they're there just to block any of these balls into these incisive areas. And we'll have to trust our fullbacks and our centre halves if it goes out wide-ish. The setup was really good for him as well. You have to notice that.
Setup is, but it suits a lot. I think it'll suit Curtis Jones if he comes back into the team as well. Do you know what I mean? I think the makeup of these players, the way we're sort of shaping that midfield now, that probably it suits a bit more than the way Klopp had it. And that's, look, it always sounds completely now. Klopp these days, yesterday's news, you know what I mean? But the way we're playing now, I couldn't see Gravenberch playing as the lone 6 in a Klopp team, right? Under any fucking circumstances, you probably wouldn't see that. But now you're looking at him and you're saying, right, he's playing there, he's got players close to him, and he's got the freedom to get forward when he needs to. I just think it's made for him. And the thing I'm not excited, but I'm hopeful for, is we're hearing all this talk about Arne Slot and his performance team, that they keep players in peak physical shape. If we can do that with this team, with Gravenberch, with Konate, with some of the other lads, and you can keep a consistent team, we're set up lovely. going into this, and it's because of these players, the potential in them. If we can unlock it, and it's not about unlocking really their skill set, it's just their availability and their physicality, and I think Gravenberch could be key. If we can keep him fit, there's no reason why he can't be the best, that type of player. Right? We know Rodri's the best number 6 in the world. I'm not putting him on the same thing as him, but he can be one of the best central midfield players in the Premier League, in my opinion. I look at Spurs and you see Basuma playing there with Kulusevski and your man Sarr today, but last week it was Kulusevski and fucking Maddison, and you're like, right, he's doing all that donkey work there. I think Gravenberch's better than him. Do you know what I mean? I think he's looking better than a lot of the other players out there, and instead of comparing him to Rodri, we don't have to compare him to Rodri and Declan Rice, all these other fellas. Just let him be who he is, but keep him fit as much as possible. And if we do that, I think we have a serious player on our hands that alleviates the need to rush and spend 40, 50, 60 million on another central midfielder. We will have to do that eventually, but it will take the desperation to do it. I wouldn't be rushing to do it in January.
If a player for 50 million comes up in January, I want them to sign it. And that's not. And that's
we know
they
will. If it's a player they want, we know they will.
Yeah, that's not to take any of these players out of the team. I just want an extra player of that quality in the squad. That's what I want. They can pick who they want. My opinion doesn't make a difference when a team sheet comes out before the game. Do you know what I mean? Well, not really. They used to, but it doesn't anymore. but Emma, we're talking about the setup. Not protecting them. I think they're just suiting what they have, and this is the way. And we're talking about passing lanes and stuff, but on the ball, when Liverpool get on the ball, none of the three are afraid to go, here, I'll go deep. I'll go in and sit beside you. Here, you go on out to the left there. I'll go in. And it's just a constant movement all the time. We've seen it in the second half. The ball comes to Alisson. He's standing there and I'm kind of going, are you going to kick this? Like, what are you doing? And he just pops it out. And I think it might be Szoboszlai that takes it, turns, plays it back. And next of all, Gravenberch gets it. And then it goes back again. And next of all, it's McAllister taking it. It's not like there's one fella just standing there in the middle. And he is the deepest of them. There's no doubt about that. But it's not like when we have the ball where, he is the deepest and everything has to go through him. He's deepest, but he's actually not the one that has to have the ball all the time. Do you get me? So
he's deepest, and today he was probably the furthest forward out of the three as well.
Yeah. But we've seen that
every blade of grass.
But helping him on, not helping him. I hate saying that. Having that setup of the three and being able to take the ball comfortably and knowing where each other is, but also giving him the responsibility. Like we seen last year, flashes of him ghosting by people, get a couple of goals. Really, when he opens his legs, he's brilliant. But giving him the responsibility to say, listen, by the way, you're the man that's going to be intercepting here. You're the man that's going to be centre halves going to be looking for. How much does that bring him on, even at a young age, to say to him, Liverpool's midfield, brand new, we're putting you in there. It has to be huge.
It's massive. He strikes me as a player that doesn't lack confidence either. So it's really kind of like an ego boost for him as well. But to have, like you had McAllister that kind of nearly filled that role for a lot of last season as well. So you're right, it's fairly fluid, and we saw Szoboszlai do it in parts last year. So they're all fairly fluid. I think Gravenberch is probably, look, somebody will say Salah's been on fire and whoever's been on fire, but I think he's probably, I know it's only 3 games, but he's probably our player of the season so far because of the amount of pressure that has been on that position. All summer, every single fucking podcast has been talking about us needing a midfielder. We need a 6, we need a defensive midfielder. And all of this is on Gravenberch's shoulders. I know, like you said, you don't really like to use the word help, but there's the 3 of them in it. But for him to come in and play, I thought he was unbelievable today. Unbelievable. Like he's, like you said, he's the deepest, and then within a couple of seconds he's out on the right wing or he's out on the left wing.
He done it last week.
A lot of the time,
he pressed so much last week out to the sides.
The ball broke, like so. United cross in a ball, and it broke to the edge of the box, and you're thinking, "Oh shit! I hope somebody's not there to give this a smack." The amount of times he was there, it was very kind of. I'm reluctant to compare him to other players, but it reminded me of Fabinho, just kind of sweeping up. I'll take this, and then I'll pop it off, and then we'll start again. And then Fabinho got forward an awful lot as well. I think, look, I don't want to say last year we were like, oh, we're going in a centre-back short, and then all of a sudden we have Kwanzaa. But Gravenberch is looking to do a Kwanzaa this year. I still think, like you, that we need another one there. So this is not, Gravenberch has solved the problem. We were short one anyway. We're still short one, even with him playing. With the 3 games a week that's going to come up now after international break, we need somebody that's going to be able to say, right, you're playing the league game, you're playing against Bologna, or you're playing against whoever else we have in the Champions League. We need something like that. I'm not sure Endo is that person. I don't think Endo gets around like Gravenberch gets around. Do you see McAllister maybe going in there and somebody else coming into midfield, maybe a Jones with Szoboszlai, or even I'm trying to remember how many fucking midfielders we have now. Martin.
Well, you have those 3 there. You've Jones, you've Elliott, you've Endo, you've Martin, and you've Trey Naoni. If you were to,
Elliott, I think Elliott obviously is freed up now for that midfield position because he's Chiesa covering for Salah. So, but look, Keith, yourself are right. The more he plays in there, the more confidence he's gonna get. He's not perfect at the moment. I think he's very graceful and he just glides across. Glides across the field. He's a lovely footballer to watch.
They're utilising. I think his athleticism helps him. He is very kind of graceful on the ball, but when they actually win it and when they set that trap for someone to try hit a pass, and you see it in the goal today, the first goal which we got onto, he's not going forward with the ball and creating his nail into him. You know, you see players and they break up a ball and they run forward and they go, oh fuck, where am I going to give this? And they just play it out to Salah as quick as they can. You know, give it to him. He knows what he's doing, where he doesn't. He drives on and, like, I'll stick with you, Emmet. The first goal. You know, we have a goal disallowed. It's tight, but it's rightly ruled out offside. But that was a warning sign to them. That was a ball from the centre half. Boom, boom, boom. And we're in 3 passes. We're on your end line and we're killing you. But the goal then, you know, United are trying to play. Casemiro hits this first time pass and you can see what he's trying to do. You can see he's trying to whip it out to the wing and he's trying to actually, Liverpool aren't pressing, but he's trying to play between the lines. He's trying to get something out to I think it was Rashford. And if it gets to Rashford, Liverpool actually are quite high up the pitch. But Gravenberch just steps in and strides with it. And then you're thinking, play the right ball. And he plays it at the right time, the right pace to it. And Salah's just like, I'll just put on a play here at the back post. And they're queuing up. And it makes it 1-0. But Emma, it was crucial to get that because we'd given them their 15 minutes grace. We were starting to turn on them. We were starting to pick things off. And when you get a chance, you need to take it. You need to take the chance and go, you've made a mistake and now we've hurt you. And now you can't make another one. It was a crucial goal to get. And Diaz on the score sheet again.
Yeah, well, look, everybody's piling in on Casemiro, and it's sad to see. I know they said earlier on, leave football before the football leaves you.
It's not sad
I'm just saying, for such a good player that's won so much.
It's not sad to see.
I know he's a United player now.
But hold on. All this sad to see bollocks. He was at Real Madrid. It's the same as Rafael Varane. He was at Real Madrid. He'd won everything, right? He doesn't give a bollocks about football anymore. And United come in and go, we'll give you a 5-year deal on 350 grand a week. And he goes, perfect. And he's turned up and he's been absolute dog shit. And same for Varane, by the way. United fans saying, what a servant.
He couldn't get Frankie de Jong.
But the thing is, what a servant, Varane, would you ever fuck off? He never stood out in that United defence. And he was constantly fucking injured. And this happens all the time. When a Real Madrid player that's been in Real Madrid for 6, 7, 8 years, won the lot, and decides Real Madrid are going to take an offer, walk away.
Yeah.
Walk away. Unless you go to Real Madrid and go, there's 50 million, they go, no, we want 75. Then you know they want to keep him. He's fucking atrocious. It's not sad. It's an indictment of what they've done, right? And then to make things worse, apparently he gets fucking substituted and fucks off.
Yeah, there's a video.
He got substitute for some fucking kid.
So, what I was trying to say is
I wouldn't bother now.
I don't think it's all down to fucking Casemiro being shit. We're just been talking about Gravenberch. For him to look, he did telegraph the pass, but Gravenberch had to be there to intercept it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so it's as and even Neville afterwards. And I know we'll probably get onto it.
Oh, we will.
United were poor, and it's all mistakes and whatever. They were forced mistakes, I would say. Anyway, the goal, excellent. I always thought Salah's right foot was for putting out smokes. Apparently, he can do lovely little dink crosses. and Diaz gets up. I didn't know who scored it to begin with. Then I thought that Diaz headed off Szoboszlai, now he's the offside and whatever. But what I will say is, like you said, last year we didn't capitalise on those mistakes. Every time we intercepted the ball today, I thought we were going to score. All right. Yeah. Last year, those two get in each other's way. It comes off the back of Szoboszlai's head and it comes back out the 18-yard box, and they're on the break. There's a calmness about us. There's an organisation about us, whereas last year it was literally, and I don't want to say the rock and roll football or heavy metal football or whatever, but it's methodical this year. It's like bang, bang, that's going in there. There's clearly a shout from Diaz and Szoboszlai.
Right at the last second, Szoboszlai leaning
Keystone Cops last year, and they'd be falling over each other, and down there on the break. So it was really, really good. Good header from Diaz as well. Especially, look, there's no worse than a player jumping across the front of you when you're trying to go for a header. Like, it clearly put you off. So for him to,
very good.
To get it on target was really good. Yeah.
Keith, we talk about patterns of play, passing. What's this player? What's doing that? But the very basis of this goal is our midfielder wins it and releases Salah very quickly. And we've seen through the years Salah in that position would kind of stand the player up, try to come inside them, but they obviously have patterns on what they want to do at certain times. And then you look at the ball's clipped to the back. I think. Do you know what? Jota is a bit of an unsung one here, because Jota makes that run towards the front, and everyone goes with him. Everyone goes, "Oh, look at Jota over there," and they all trot over towards him, right? But when you look at it, Szoboszlai is on the fucking 6-yard line from an interception that's happened 40 yards from the goal. He's on the 6-yard line trying to score. And Diaz scores because he's right in front of goal. He's not out on the left wing, seeing how much paint he can get on his boot. He's right in the middle of the goal. You know what I mean? As if, like, minute we win it, we're all in. You know what I mean? And I would have loved to see a replay of it, you know, panned out. When they win it, where do these players come from? Because they're right on top of it. And them things really, really impress me, Keith. When you see it's like bang, 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 and they know what they're at. It's not just off the cuff. They know exactly what they're at when they win that.
Did you see, obviously didn't see the clip on Sky where they showed Jota in the build-up to that goal, where he pointed where to put it. So he makes the run across and he's telling them, go behind me, go. And he's saying to Diaz, get wide, get wide. And he takes the runner in. And even then he's still telling Salah or whoever has it, it could be Gravenberch at this point, saying, like, get it to the back, get it to the back. So I don't think he had a good game, Jota, today. But it was a Jota game.
He's a menace, though.
A Jota game without a goal is pretty fucking, you know, yeah, he can be a menace, but he's not the best player in the world. But what that showed is intelligence. You know what I mean? He knew he's miles behind me with acres of space. I'm going to pull these idiots over here and they're all going to follow me.
Yeah.
Get that ball across. And he does. And it's brilliant. He is an unsung hero on that goal. Actually, Match of the Day is on there. That's why I keep looking over my shoulder. Steve was asking in the chat. But yeah, it's a great goal. It's clever. It's the Salah thing. I agree. I think in years gone by, he's cutting onto his left to have a shot. Like, the second goal, obviously, he does that little outside of the foot pass that's become accustomed to, really. But when he's gotten to the byline, he very rarely uses that right foot to float one in, and he did, and we saw the benefit of it. It was a great goal. Great play.
Pulling back and shooting on his left, or zipping it in low and hard and into the keeper's hands. Yeah. So it's something different.
The reason I noticed Jota was because when I done all my research on Feyenoord, which was 11 minutes of YouTube videos, the one thing I noticed about is a Jimenez that plays up front for them. I always want to call him Martinez, but it's not. He was always instrumental in the goals that others were scoring. He was making runs to dictate to the wingers, like, if I make that run, you're going inside on your own. If I stand still, you go outside and get it in the box or whatever. And that was a real moment for me when I looked at it today. I went, that's not a fluke. What Jota's doing there is simply not a fluke. Do you know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, you know, if Jota pulls to the back post, he probably scores. But if he pulls to the back post, everyone's standing there with him. I just think it was really, really clever.
He drilled him in. It was brilliant. Really was.
The second goal, Keith, the second goal, I was amazed Anthony Taylor doesn't call for a free kick on Casemiro. I don't think it is.
No, it's definitely not.
No, I don't think it is.
Yes,
I don't think it is. But it was one of those where I went, that's not a foul, but I'm waiting for him to blow it.
Yeah.
Right? because it's Casemiro, always gone down. Someone must have knocked him over. But again, Luis Diaz is winning that ball back, and he's in the middle of the pitch winning it. He's in the middle of the pitch, Keith, right? Wins it, and it's like bang, bang, and off we go again. It's a brilliant finish. But this is the difference between the two sides. We win it, and we go, where can we hurt you? We're going to go and try hurt you. And we just go and hurt them, Keith. It's a brilliant finish, by the way.
It is. I hear what you're saying about the foul. And Anthony Taylor being Anthony Taylor. Again, a lot of spotlight about what Manchester ref getting this game. So maybe he's looking straight at it. You can see there's no foul. But it is an easy one to give. Just blow the whistle and give it because he goes to ground. And Casemiro has that begging face on him when he's on the ground, trying to grab the ball. That's a foul. It's not a foul. It's not a bleeding foul at all. He doesn't give it, thankfully, because it would have been a fucking disgraceful decision. And bang, we're in again. And it's Mo Salah now cutting in. And what do they think he's going to do? He's probably going to have a shot. But no, he just rolls well, flicks one in to Diaz, who just rolls it into the bleeding net. It was a great goal again. Diaz has been on fire. Diaz has really, really started this season well, and he's getting goals and he's getting assists, and it's been the one criticism that a lot of people have had about him. Does he do the numbers? Does he get the high goals and that? He got 2 goals today. He had
4 and 3.
4 and 3, is it?
Yeah.
And assists. He's involved, and that's what you can see. But his runs, like I said, clever. Even on the disallowed goal, he's making the little run. I know it's just offside or whatever, but he's constantly being a threat. And he's making, I said this on a show a couple of weeks ago, could have been could have been last week actually, or maybe it was a couple of weeks ago. He's not making the runs of the last couple of years where he's just hugging the touchline and trying to cut in, and he's too far out to do anything. He seems to be coming from a more central area and getting, when the ball's on the right, he's not too wide, he's pushing in and he's getting himself into dangerous positions, because he's good at that when you're watching for Colombia, or even when he was with Porto.
Very Mane position,
isn't it? Yeah, he'd get into the box, he'd score a lot of goals, and we're starting to see that with him. And the reward is that he's scoring goals, and he's getting his rewards for doing it. So the fact that we've brought in another winger in Federico Chiesa will put pressure on them, and it will keep them going and keep pushing them. And I think we could be in for a very good season from Luis Diaz. But 2 really good goals today. The header is a brave header, and because he's going up with his own fucking player. But it's still, you have to get on the end of that, and you have to get the power to direct it in. And the second goal is just a great one, swept in, past, in my opinion, one of the worst high-profile goalkeepers in world football. I think this fella is absolute shite. But you still have to put a past him. You can save the odd shot. And 2-0, that gave us the impetus. As we said, the disallowed goal as well. We're all over them. We are absolute malavoguing them at this stage. And it was great to see, and we just keep it up. We keep putting that pressure on.
He attempts this finish last week at home to Brentford. Salah actually burns past him on IR and pulls it back, and he tries this one where it's behind him a bit, whipping it into that bottom corner. The keeper makes a really good save. But this one, he doesn't even give a Nana time to set himself, Emmet. It's because, if the keepers, if Salah tries to go outside there, the keeper's kind of, I'm shuffling across, I'm waiting for it, now it's coming. Whereas Emmet was just like, Salah gets it, was like, bum in there and you put it in the goal. There's no messing around. And again, I just think it's amazing watching him. Salah's turning into a brilliant creator that just happens to score loads of goals.
Yeah. He loves the little Travella pass, and the thing is that when he's on the ball, he's controlling the ball with that left foot, with the outside of his foot. So as he puts his foot towards it, they think he's just tapping it again, and you can even see if you watch it in slow motion, Dalot doesn't even know the ball's gone by him. By the time it's gone by him, he thinks he's just controlling it, and it's real one of those you put the ball back nearly where it came from. So Onana is moving across. He's going to be shifting across because his feet will be shifting across because the ball's coming across. And Diaz is putting it back in the other direction. It's very hard to get back there, as bad as he is. And I know somebody there said Alisson probably would have saved, probably would have. But it's a great finish. He's fallen backwards nearly. And I remember the one Kop end last week, wasn't it? Against Brentford.
Yeah, it's down low on the left-hand, keeper's left-hand side, yeah.
But Yeah, look, I think what's happening with Diaz is, and I think you've probably said this before, Gav, on one show. This is when he first arrived. He seems the sideline seems to be the 18-yard box for him now.
Yeah.
He doesn't go out. He's playing in between those two lines of the 18-yard box.
I think he's more of a forward than a winger. See, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I think his pace and his trickery, kind of puts him in this box where he's a winger. But when I watch him, I'd love to see him doing man-A things in this team. So making those runs from outside to in, right? His run for the first goal against Brentford last week was unbelievable. He was literally running down the pitch and just turned and went in a different direction. And I think if you can get him into those positions where his second touch is a shot from inside the lines of the 18-yard line, rather than the second touch being trying to get by a fella right on the wing, he feels more of a forward than a winger to me. And I know it's easy to look and go, yeah, but he's tricky and he's this. When you watch him for Colombia, yes, he's wide, but every chance he gets, he's attacking that corner, that 6-yard box where he can when the ball's coming in the box. And Liverpool obviously will see the benefit from it. And don't get us wrong, there was loads of people in the summer some wanted him gone, some just thought he'd go because his dad never shut the fuck up. But I just think he's been brilliant. He's holding onto the ball a lot more. He's been a lot more sensible with the ball. And in turn, that's given him loads of chances. Because the starting position he's having in the attacks isn't out here miles. It's right in the middle of the pitch. And it's allowing him to orchestrate things. Tor asked Keith, just one word answer, Keith. Pickford, Ramsdale or Onana? You had to pick one.
To take?
Yeah.
Lonsdale. Cannot stand the dinosaur arms, and I think Onana is the biggest fucking fraud. He's a Nigerian who's looking for your bank details, this fella. He's an absolute con man, this fella. Worst keeper I've ever seen at a high level team. He is desperate. Absolutely septic.
Yeah, he's desperate.
What about elbowing fucking Van Dijk today?
Say again?
What?
Just him giving Van Dijk.
Oh, he gave Van Dijk a little elbow. But I wanted to get on to that. We're 2-0 up. Van Dijk gives Fernandes one towards the end of the half. But Liverpool weren't going to be intimidated by, because what I thought were, United were quite heavy-handed at times. Do you know what I mean? And felt like a lot of desperate challenges going in at times. These are getting away. It was desperate challenge. Like, Mainu could have been off the pitch.
Martinez was lucky as well.
Yeah, he pulled. The Martinez ones goes through the back of Szoboszlai. But I have to say, I did like, this thing where only the captain can talk and all. But Van Dijk was making sure he was right in there. Okay, if that's the rule, we're right in there. And basically telling Martinez, you come down here and try it and see how you get on, And I like that because, again, they weren't playing the occasion. They weren't getting mixed up in it and all, and letting these tackles nearly go and giving United a bit of momentum. It was like, we're going to snuff you out now. As soon that happens, I'm going to be in that ref's here and I'm going to fucking tell you at the same time, come down here and try that and I'll break you up. You know what I mean? And I did like that. But we get to the start of the second half, and everybody in WhatsApp groups, Telegram groups, making your mate sitting watching a point. It was all about, don't fucking do anything stupid in the first 10 here. Xerxes has one chance that Alisson just pushes away. It's handy enough. But it's a real case of, please don't mess around here. Pass it. Be patient. And then we rob them again, Emmet. And Mainu gets caught this time. McAllister just goes in. And they're getting this great little thing where they're not going in heavy-handed. They just go in and go, boom, we're just taking her off you. We're not bundling you over. We're just being physical and taking her off you.
But another one that you wouldn't have been surprised if he'd have blown the whistle.
Yeah, but I think he's kind of set a stall out on a couple of them earlier in the game. And again, Liverpool just get it. I think it's Szoboszlai through the middle to Salah. And then Salah just decides, I'm not taking a touch here and giving anyone a chance. I'm sweeping this into the bottom corner. A little bit like one of his goals when we won 5-0 and he scores at the Trafford end. And that just puts them to bed. It's over.
Yeah. And again, I know I stuck up for Casemiro earlier. I've got to stick up for a referee. Anthony Taylor last year was letting an awful lot of those niggly little challenges go in some of the...
he does, doesn't
we
he?
We had conversations about how come he lets them go but the other refs don't. You can't be reffing it too much. He was reffing an occasion rather than a match. But it's brilliant. And again, it's one of those where last year we probably give one extra pass. This year it's just bang, like you said, bang, bang. There's Salah. He gets it and sweeps into the. What was Onana doing?
Don't know.
Like,
He was like
remember
the
Henderson was in goal for United. I think is that the one
yes,
you're talking about?
Yeah.
No, I'm talking
And he
about the one in
basically
the. I'm
goes
talking
like
about the
this
one in
and
the
shows him
5-0.
the goal.
The fourth goal in the 5-0, where it goes into the box and it drops, and Salah just sweeps it into the corner low.
Yeah.
But there is
But I
one
think
away
there was,
during.
they were wearing the mint green.
Yeah,
The mint
it's
green thing. And Henderson is showing him the whole one side of the goal. That's what Onana did.
is
Very
that
Onana, isn't it?
2021?
Onana does that a bit.
With all the injuries and the ball goes through and Henderson is fucking over in the stand somewhere trying to protect the goal. But it's just so quick.
But it was just again. It's a finish that Salah makes look easy. Like Diaz made his finish look easy, but they're far from easy. And Onana in goal had nothing to do with it. I don't even think he gets near it, even if he was in the middle of his goal.
Yeah.
And it's just passed in. But like I said, it would be all convoluted last year. We would have taken a 1-2 and he would
you'd
have
have been
played
waiting for Salah to take a
across
touch and someone to run around the back.
put it back across to the
put
far
it to him
corner
and someone
Diaz
pass it
would
across.
scuff it wide off
We
the
done it at Old
post,
Trafford
whatever.
last year.
Yeah.
We tapped it around the 6-yard box on the helmets last year.
But that was it. And then when that went in, I thought, we're going to do them for 7 again. Like, I honestly thought it looked like we were going to score every time.
But we score, and then Martinez gets the ball and passes straight to Salah.
Straight
from the tip off.
Who actually,
well, they're still showing a replay.
on this occasion, should actually just pass it to the side. And he doesn't. He hits it and it flies over. And you can see him giving out to himself and apologising. And you're like, genuinely, that should be 4. And then we win the ball back a minute later. And somebody, I don't know, it might have been Dalot kind of bundles into Salah near the corner flag. And Salah decides, well, I'm not passing to me mates now. I'm going to just keep bouncing off you now till you give up. And then they just ping it around them. And next thing they're in again. And the ball, and Salah tries to bend when it goes, and you're like, that could be 5. Do you know what I mean? And it did.
They had the foot on the throat at that stage.
They did have the foot on the throat, Keith, but the thing that impressed me was they make their subs. Big shout out to Andy Robertson today, 300 game for Liverpool. Virgil van Dijk's 200 game, Premier League game for Liverpool. There might be another couple of things going on, milestones, but I wanted to give them a shout. I also want to give out a shout out to United fans that continue to sing about tragedy chanting, and the TV decides that look, that's not really, it's grand, where it should be absolutely pounced on, but it's not, because it's a big game. Fuck off. But Keith, the thing that impressed me was, we make our subs, we're 3-0 up. Why go chasing them? There's no point. Tell you what we do. Let them chase us. They get a couple of chances. Xerxes has a header. There's one at the back post that goes wide. But Liverpool, I think, had probably another gear or two. But they decided against it. Made their subs, passed it around, and absolutely took any sting out of the game from 65 on, I would have thought. No, just sting is gone. We're done. So are you, by the way. It was excellent the way they shut that down, Keith. I really enjoyed that bit of it.
Yeah, it's something that I do hope to see an awful lot more of, because there's been times under Klopp when we haven't maybe managed games too well, and we've probably kept going where players can get injured. Like Jota had picked up injuries by bleeding chasing dead balls at 85 minutes in games, and it's like 3-0 up here, pal, just fucking kill your Jets. The thing about Liverpool now, and I think Emmet might have said earlier, it's all about control now. Let's not be forcing this. As you said, Gav, we're 3-0 up here. At the moment, touch wood, we've only got Curtis Jones injured, so we have a bench of players there that we can bring on to impact the game. Conor Bradley coming on, Trent going off, fucking doesn't make a difference to that team. There's no drop off. Simicast coming on for a little jog for Andy Robbo doesn't make a difference. Darwin coming on and being a menace, right? He didn't score, didn't impact that really, but again, it's another cameo, 2 in a row now where he's come on and put himself about. And then who else was it comes on? Gakpo comes on for Diaz.
Should have a penalty.
Yeah, he should have a penalty, and it's a disgraceful decision because Anthony Taylor has his whistle. He's given the fucking foul, plays an advantage. They look at it on VAR, see it's in the box. It has to be a penalty. Do you know what I mean? It's in the box, has to be a penalty. No, go ahead, play away. Absolute madness. But the thing I've liked is we've been controlled in games, in the 3 games so far. And as I said, people scoffed at Ipswich and Brentford. It's expected. The real test is when you go to Old Trafford. Well, we went to Old Trafford today. We got a lead. We took our chances, which we didn't do last season. People going about, oh, they bet us last season. We drew with them last season, they bet us in the cup. We should have been miles ahead of them at half time in both games. We let them into them games. This time we didn't let them into the game. We took the game away from them. And then when we took the scoreline away from them, we took the game away from them because we didn't let them. As you touched on them chances, Gav. The Xerxes header should do better, but it's a chance. But when you have Alisson there, you're happy. The Xerxes one where he comes over, Rashford plays one over the little clip ball over the top and it hits his bleeding calf. To me, that's Xerxes. I don't think he's a good player. I think he's fucking rubbish, to be honest. I think you're going to see loads of that from him. I think he's a streaky player. He's not going to be prolific. He had a good year at Bologna. I think he's going to stink the gaff out. And that sort of chance, I think we'll see a lot coming from him where he's just not, he's missed time and the connection and things like that. I think he's fucking dirt. So, I didn't think they had any threat. I don't think they done anything. They deserved nothing. They got nothing. Their fans all fucked off early enough and left a half-empty stadium. And they are what they are, absolute shower of shite. So, yeah, they didn't offer anything today. We didn't look under pressure at all. And it was the most comfortable of comfortable days. Right, we beat them 7-0 before, beat them 5-0, but that was just comfortable.
Yeah, but this was like even the 5-0. We could have. I think we're 5-0 on 50 minutes that day.
Yeah, we're 4-0.
And we could have absolutely destroyed them. We actually turned out to be a little bit haphazard. And the only moment I thought today where we weren't professional in what we're doing was when Szoboszlai should just bury it and doesn't, right? And people should be saying to him, just put that ball away, will you? Because the next time it happens, it might be 1-0 and you need to put it away. Just put it in the goal and we'll talk about it later. And even in the 5-0, the 7-0 at Anfield, the bleeding ball was everywhere. It was 90 miles an hour. Whereas this one today was, like you said, on the scoreboard, we've done you. And now we're going to make sure you have nothing. And it's, again, momentum. They wouldn't let United build up any momentum. If United got a chance to go, right, we're keeping it. We're just keeping the fucking ball. And you're not getting it back. So the crowd then die off after a chance. Oh, that was ages ago, that fucking chance now. That's what it feels like. The fans are in the ground. It feels like the players and stuff like that. But overall, the way they took the game away and just controlled it, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed that part of it. Even though the goals are
playing with your food.
Yeah, it's just
that was like we were playing with our food.
Yeah, but it's a way where the team can get used to. You can do that at 1-0. You can do it at, you know what I mean? We've done it at 3. There might be times where we need to do it at 1. Not quite happening for us up front. Defensively strong team that might get a chance against you. Let's shut this game down, and that's what you like to see. And it goes back a little bit to the title winning season, because we done that where we just got to go and go, you're not scoring. Yeah. End of story. You're not fucking scoring.
We might get another one.
But we might get another one, but you're definitely not getting one. Before we get on, I want to talk about Gary Neville, and I'm definitely talking about the Ev before we go. I don't give a fuck what time it is. We are talking about the Ev, right?
Strap in, get the Horlicks on because it's a late one tonight.
The best. I wouldn't listen to the first hour. Just listen to it from here. But man of the match, because I think there's loads of possibilities here. Keith, go on. I'll let you go first.
This is the same as last week when we were obviously over in the match, and myself, Ashley, Matt and Kev done it, and we all picked different players from on the match. There could be so many of them. Look, Gravenberch for me was amazing today. It made everything happen in that first half. He won the ball constantly and he set up so many attacks. The heat maps, he was playing much more advanced than McAllister. McAllister done more of his pressures from a deeper area. Gravenberch for me was man of the match today, and we could have 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 different players in contention. But for me, Big Ryan.
That's fair. Emma?
Gravenberch from me as well. For the exact same reasons. And I think he did get a little bit tired in the second half. But like you said, Gav, McAllister kind of nearly upped his game then, and it was him that was he nips the ball for the third goal. So it's great. Like they all kind of nearly can do the same thing. But for me, he was everywhere. It was like he's just won a ball here, and then the camera goes close up to who's on the ball. It's Gravenberch again, and you're like, what the hell? Like, he was just everywhere for me. He's probably been man of the match in all 3 of the games for me. And like I said, the pressure that he's under because of the spotlight that's been on that position, And for him to go in and play the way he has, long may it continue. I think he's excellent.
I think it's difficult to pick one today, because I think all of them are really, really good. I want to give a shout to Konate. I thought Konate was excellent.
I was going to say, Big Ebu was
Konate was excellent. Dealt with everything he had to deal with, and I think they're afraid of him. Do you remember the time he was just rag ball and fucking half United's team around the place when it was Ronaldo kicked Curtis Jones?
Ronaldo and Martial, I think.
Yeah, and Fred came in and he just got fucking thrown around. But when I looked through the team, I thought Konate was really, really good. I thought the fullbacks were good. I thought Szoboszlai was really good as well. McAllister's just so neat and tidy. Diaz gets 2. Salah is just Salah. You know what I mean? But I'm going to go full house. I'm going to go Gravenberch, which is because it was a supposed step up in challenge today for this Liverpool side, which I don't think it ended up being. But it's a big game. It's a big game. They bang on about Manu, and I like Manu. They bang on about United try this United, and he intercepts, drops his shoulder, pulls away from players, presses, wins tackles. He's neat and tidy. It's the array of things he does. When he needs to be neat and tidy, he is. His decision making was really good today. I think that's probably the biggest thing I can say from him, and that's such a good sign. And so I'm gonna go with Gravenberch as well. Woodley's feet, nice name. With super chat says, can Kudus or Bowen do what Mo Salah does? I don't know if there's anyone on the planet that can do what Mo Salah does.
I'll answer that. They can't.
No. He's a one-off. He's the best wide player that's ever played in the Premier League. Simple as that. To just look at all the stats, it's just, I think we need to do a show on him every 6 months about how stupid he is. But there you go. Let me see. Scouser P says, should I get popcorn for the upcoming chat about the blue shy? You can if you want. Do what you like. A few cans, Sunday night. Back and work tomorrow, who cares? But before we get on to the Ev, I want to give a little word on Sky. Now, I turn on the match when it's on, and I try watch it not on Sky, to be fair. And I did today. I watched it on something else. But the nonsense after this game, it's just like, talk about mental gymnastics, right? Keane is quite harsh. I've seen 2 videos. Keane speaks to them, and Sturridge is talking to one, and then in the second one, it's more or less Neville and Carragher. And what I don't get from all this, Emmet, is, right, Gary Neville sits last week and does his predictions, and he's like, I think United will make the top 4. I think they have a better midfield than this, and I think they're fucking great, and I think that this. And then he's asked after the game today, right? Now, my thing on him is, he's called for this, and this to happen, and most of it's happened. And he's called it a takeover at the club, which is not true. He's actually fucking lying to you. There's no new owners at Manchester United. Same owners are there. The minority shareholders have a big say, right? But he turns around and he makes all these predictions. And then he stands there. He has the fucking gall to stand there today and go, well, he's brought in new staff, and that's new things for the players to hear, and then there's new staff above him, and there's people that have been at this club for an awful long time, and they're leaving. Gary Neville was the one that said these people were at the club too long and should leave, by the way. Just let you know that. And all this fucking stuff, and it's like, he literally in his own head must be thinking, what did I say about all this? I'm going to say the fucking exact opposite now and make it me point, right? Instead of answering the fucking question, is this manager under pressure? And what style of play did he have? And he, again, comes out with utter fucking nonsense that people have to put up with. And a lot of people choose to put up with Emmet, but it's fucking mad watching it. Like, it's pie in the sky stuff.
He speaks with a certain kind of conviction, as in he knows. Particularly today, about he'll be given till Christmas, I think is what he said. And somebody questioned, like, maybe October, and he said, no, I think he'll definitely be given until Christmas. So it's nearly like he knows. But Gary Neville makes these predictions, especially the Arsenal one, because he doesn't want to predict that Liverpool will win a league or will be in a title challenge. He predicts with his heart what he wants to happen. He doesn't predict what he thinks will happen. He predicts what he wants to happen.
Yeah,
and he wants Manchester United to finish top 4. So he predicted that they would. Now he's realised they're fucking cat. and now he has to make up an excuse as to why they probably won't, or what are the reasons why they're playing this way. The reason they're playing this way is because they're absolute shite. They don't know. They're not being instructed, or they're not being given patterns of play. And you can talk about, oh, this fella's come in and he's going to have to work his way into the team. Like, they were harping on as though they won a trophy for the transfer window. Like, do you know what I mean? So, look, to me, he's not. I much prefer Carragher, and even at that, sometimes I don't particularly like him. I think he can maybe be too biased. And then when he's trying not to be biased towards Liverpool, he goes completely the opposite way. But for me, Neville, they're all, we've said it loads of times on here, they're all soundbite merchants now. It's all how many likes can we get on TikTok, how many people can we get to listen to the overlap, all that kind of. It's not real punditry anymore. In fact, some TikTok pundits are actually speak a hell of a lot more sense than some of these lads do now. And it's I watch it for the entertainment value rather than for the knowledge and football information value at this stage.
You see, I don't even think it's entertaining. I actually think it's you know, if someone spoke, if I'm watching someone speak like that, I'm actually insulted that they think I should sit and listen to this. That's what I actually get insulted by having to listen to this. You know what I mean? And people are, and you're paying your money to watch this, and you're kind of going, are you fucking? It's like going to see a band and a fella turns up with a fucking set of spoons and starts fucking, you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's insulting to your intelligence what's going on here. Like, he's banging on about, you know, this fella needs time. But then he's telling you, oh, well, I don't think if this happens, I don't think it'll happen. But he won't come out and say it. Just come out and say, this isn't good enough. They've backed you again in the summer. And you've had the summer and you still no style of play. You know what I mean? Still no, well, they still look no different. And you're like, he just won't say it. Just come out and say it. And he keeps contradicting himself. You know, new owners in place and new this and new that. But that's what you wanted, Gary. So all those are in place, but they can't affect, realistically, what way you're playing football. And he never gets into the way United are playing football. He gets into the mistakes he made. United made horrendous mistakes with them goals today. United made horrendous mistakes with them goals.
Liverpool being making them.
But you know what I mean? But Gary, just tell us, listen, if United go and beat Liverpool or Anfield 3-0, he's going to tell you how great United were. He's not going to tell you about the mistakes. He's going to tell you how great United were and how they were clinical and how they were this and how they were that and how they were that. And he's standing there, and what he's actually, you see, I think part of him is actually trying to justify what he said about what he expects from Manchester United and what he thinks they can do. And then he realises he's fucking up, you know, he's no paddle. You know what I mean? He's up shit creek and he's no paddle here. And how can I reverse? It's like, Keith, I just think it's bananas to watch. Like, and I know he's talking from his heart, and I have no problem with that at times. Everyone speaks from their heart. But I don't. I think everyone speaks from their heart. Everyone, ourselves included at times. But you can't keep coming out with this stuff as if, like, it's nearly like 1 week, it's like, oh, we've added this, and we're Manchester United, and this is going to push us on. And then the following week when it doesn't work, it's like, oh, but we've only got this recently, and it's been bad for 10 years, and he manages to crowbar the Glazers in today. And you're like, well, which one fucking is it, like? And then you look and go, and people want this fella involved in that football club. He's fucking bipolar. He can't make his mind up what he's doing.
I think if Neville's speaking from his heart, he speaks like Roy Keane. He's not. It's like he's protecting his club, and he doesn't want to speak ill of them and stuff like that. So he's not speaking. What I said earlier on is that his predictions come from his heart rather than speaking. Do you know what I mean? But he doesn't speak from the heart, because if he did, he should be absolutely going through them, much the same as Keane does. That's speaking from the heart. You love the club. You don't like seeing it like this. But there's times where he won't have a bad word said about them. And then when they play bad, it's like making excuses.
Is he cornered here, Keith? Because it's Glazers this, Glazers this, Glazers this. Now he thinks like the Glazers are having nothing to do with the club. And now he's like, I can't really fucking say anything about anything here now, because they've literally changed everything I've asked except the manager. And I've probably said he should finish top 4. He's literally drove himself into a cul-de-sac, I think.
Oh, I think he's absolute embarrassment when it comes to this sort of stuff, because you can say that we can all speak with our heart and the emotion and all that, we're not getting paid what he gets paid. Do you know what I mean? Like, so he's the top analyst on Sky Sports, the top commentator, the top pundit, right? And when he started doing it, not when he first started, because the clip was there when he was talking to Mancini and he made the balls of that. But when he started doing Monday Night Football, it was the best in class. It was the best show out there. Carragher went on and was brilliant. I think Carragher's as bad as Neville. I cannot listen to the two of them in match day things. I think on the overlap they're good. I think the overlap they're more relaxed and it's not that heat of the moment sort of stuff. Gary Neville was a fucking disgrace today. Disgrace is Carry On. Jamie Carragher wasn't much better and he's going on about, he's winding him up and people think that's great. I think it's so unprofessional when you have match commentators and they're having little playground digs at each other. Oh, we just swap the midfielders and all this. Carragher's egging him on, but you still swap the mid. And Gary Neville's rabbiting on about all these fucking midfielders that they have and probably wouldn't swap them. And you're like, hold on a minute. Hold on. You're listing all this bucket of shite that you have in midfield and you're saying you wouldn't, talking about Mason Mount and all that, and you probably on paper you wouldn't swap them. Tyler Morton, and I said this in our group earlier, Tyler Morton would be a Rolls Royce in their team. And he's the bottom player on our midfield pecking order. He came out with this shite that you'd swap the United midfield for Liverpool's midfield. He's dying on that hill, right? Useless.
It's not the first time he's done it either.
No, it's not. He's done it all the time. Like, this is what I'm saying. He makes these things and he always does it in that sort of, under pressure, whether it's heat of the moment in a match day thing or the overlap when it's sort of live in front of the audience. You know what I mean? When he said about United will win a trophy before Liverpool. Remember that one a few years ago, and that was in front of the audience. I think he just speaks absolute shit. He's the minister for bleeding where Manchester United not allowed to win everything anymore. He's calling for calm from the Manchester United fan base. This fella called for anarchy a few years ago and got his fans to fucking storm a stadium to get the biggest match in England cancelled, to which I don't think there's ever been any fucking punishment. Not that I've been aware of when they got that game cancelled. They got the biggest game of the calendar called off, and he's going on about it like it's bleeding. It's nothing because he has that power.
Sorry, we get back to this, but actually, I put a comment in here with regards to the recruitment at Manchester United in response to Matt, who was saying, they've got a new director of football, head of recruitment, can't expect too much from Erik ten Hag, and they were joking. Ashley put in, she was meant to write, we had a director of footballer, but she wrote, we had a dog on drugs in Ibiza that did a better job than they did, Matt. There's no excuses.
Like that.
And it's one of the best typos I've ever seen. So I just wanted to do it. But I just think, I'm just looking at them and it always comes back to they're saying stuff so they can clip it up and throw it out there and get their views and their clicks and their ads and their whatever else. And it's just, I think it's insulting. I actually think it's insulting at this stage now to people that watch football and want to, interact and hear these people that are being paid an awful lot of money to give their views. And if he wants to speak from their heart, just take him off United games. Just take him off. Just take him off.
I think the two of them should be off games.
I just think he should be. I just think he should be taken off Manchester United games because
he should be taken off Liverpool games as well.
Yeah, but they were going on about the managers then, and Jamie Carragher was like, "Well, look, they went looking for managers in the summer, and because they couldn't get one, they held on to him." And Neville's quips back with, "Oh well, Arne Slot was Liverpool's third choice," and you're like, "That's fucking nonsense."
But it was embarrassing.
No, what happened was it was ran through the media, and we all fucking joined in it because the lad from what was his name, Amorim, was like, "Oh, he's meant to be good," and everyone loved the idea of Xavi Alonso, and we all did. That's fine. But Liverpool as a football club done their due diligence and went after Arne Slot and done it throughout the months or whatever and got it done. And he quips back with that, "Oh, they were our third choice," the sort of way. And you're like, what's that got to do with anything? What's that got to do with anything? You're talking about a fella that you think is third choice and is literally, and remember, he's 2 months into a job, 3 months into a job, and he's literally walked in here and just swept you aside. He swept your manager aside after 3 months. Our third choice, in inverted commas, has just eaten you alive and on your home ground, right? Where it was pathetic for Manchester United. And you were looking for managers, and he's still trying to argue that point. And you're like, they were literally looking for him.
How stupid did he look at that stage at the end of the game? How stupid was he?
And then he said, "Do you think
getting petulant and like,
do you think they get tougher? Oh yeah, why not? And instead of being a man and go, do you know what? I could have been wrong there. Like, even in the game, here's Manu now. He's no problem getting with the ball being pressed deep. And next of all, the ball's in the net because Manu's had the ball taken on him. And when you watch back the video of them in the gantry, you can actually see Neville. He's more upset at what he said and being proved wrong instantly than the ball going in the goal. It's madness. But anyway, the biggest thing of the weekend was definitely Everton 2, Bournemouth 3. It was just magical. It was magical. Do you know what? It's what we all support this sport for, right?
We're in this game. We're all in it for this.
Oh my God, lads, right? They were 2-0 up, and I thought to myself, "Geez, they're getting a win there." And then someone, I didn't even see it was 2-1, and Shawnee Lawson put in the chat. Jesus Christ, Everton are some fucking crack, aren't they? Right now, I went to look to see, you know, where they drawed and whatever. And I literally switched it on. And it was like, it's fucking 3-2. So I wrote back to Shiny and went, what's going on here? It's saying it's 3-2. And Shiny's like, yeah, when I messaged it was 2-all. It's now 3-2. Like, lads, these can't get any better than this, can they?
No. As Davo always says, they won't go down.
But you'll have a great time watching them not going down.
They'll manage to string a couple of wins and they'll stay up with the skin of their teeth every year. I think they're dreadful. And tying it in with Manchester United a bit, going back before we do slate Diev, and I think Diev are the same in this sense. They always blame a manager, right? And the players avoid the responsibility. You know, it's not just Eric Ten Hag at United, Solskjaer, Van Gaal, Mourinho, you know, players are shy. And it creates a toxic atmosphere that they won't admit to. At least Everton admit that they're absolute shy bag fans. They don't try and hide it. You know what I mean? They let the players know. They're constantly booing them. They're shouting at them when they're getting on trains. They are a football club that they would be better off being relegated, in my opinion. And I know that's a cheap little, clip that up, get them relegated. They deserve to be relegated and have a year of possibly winning games in the championship and possibly going for a championship win. Because the way it's going now, they're like that third that's just won't flush, and it's just hanging on every year, and that's what they are. And it's no existence. I would hate that to be the existence of.
But you see what they're holding on for here now is the guy off Palace to sell his shares. The guy off Palace to sell his shares come into Everton and go, yeah, I'm here and we're going to be great again. But it's not that easy. The amount of money they owe out, all this stuff. And I call Neil Maupay just started the week off in fantastic fashion. It's one of the best. They should have shut Twitter down after. Elon Musk should have went, listen, we peaked. We're fucked. You know, turn off the servers. It was unreal. But, Emmet, like, Keith's right. I don't know what sort of existence it is. Dave Downey's a mate of mine and Everton fan. He was just losing the fucking plot after, to the point where I don't even think he'd done the Blue Room podcast after the game. Maybe he had prior engagements, but he probably, in fairness to him, he probably just went, I'm not fucking doing it, lads. I've done enough here. Fuck this. But Emmet, they're 2-0 up on 87. You know what I mean?
2-0 up on 87, and Bournemouth had only had one shot on target.
Yeah, and then Bournemouth just scored the same goal 3 times. It was like a glitch, right? And they just managed to do these things to themselves. And the thing was, like, I listened to the Blue Room podcast after, and they're like, yeah, man, and I was really good, and we were great for the first 20, and Bournemouth done nothing. And then when you actually break it down, it's like, literally, Bournemouth have done nothing in this game. And in 9 minutes of the end of the game and some injury time, they've just beaten you 3-2. Yeah. Keith's right, isn't it? It's just a horrible fucking existence. It's not one I'm not wishing on them, but it's a horrible existence. And the only thing they seem to hang on to is there's 3 teams worse than us in this league, which is quite possible. And this fella might buy Everton. You know what I mean? And even if the
3 promoted teams, you'd say.
But even if the fella buys Everton, they have shitloads of money out everywhere. Do you know what I mean? And
how many new owners have they had in the last 6 months?
Everyone goes in, has a look at it and goes, we're owed this debt. Now, apparently the guys that looked the last time actually gave them a loan to pay off one of the debts. But they owe that to this fella now. Yeah. But the problem with the debt that he paid off was, it was MSP or something was the name of the company, and they basically had a hold over the stadium, if it wasn't paid. So they did pay that, and they owe it back to these guys now. But like, it's just fucking madness. Like, they're gonna need a couple of Alsatians being passed around down by the
I
glass.
kind of.
Don't say you feel sorry for them.
He
No,
feels
no,
sorry
I
for all
kind of,
these baddies,
no,
doesn't
no,
he?
I kind of agree with Keith, but I don't think if they went down, they might win a few games, but I don't think
Yeah.
they would be in a race to come back up. I think if Everton go down, like, and some of their fans will probably think it's probably best if we do go down. I think if they go down, they don't come back up for a while anyway. I think they're another
I think you're right.
Leeds or a Sunderland thing because
I
like,
don't know. I think they'd come back.
No, I'll tell you what the problem is. They've let a couple of players go at the end of last season that were on big money, and you know they got them off the wage bill, and they brought a few in, and the wage bill's probably down, but there's still loads there on big money. And if even if you don't get a transfer fee from them and they go and you get them off the transfer thing, there's some of the better players. And then you've all that debt hanging over you, and then you have a big stadium that you've built, and then you have to try fill it, and then you've the sponsorship goes through the floor. Do you know what I mean? The Premier League money is gone. You know what I mean? I agree with him. I think you just see a load of people leaving there, and it's a complete and utter rebuild. It's not like teams that come up and go, we've come up, you know, we might stay up, but if we don't, we haven't overextended ourselves. We go back into the Championship. Sheffield, you know, you've done it. We go back into the Championship with a decent squad. We can add a bit from the Premier League money and try to go back. We're not overstretching. Everton are literally taking out loans to keep themselves going here. Like, literally, I listened to a financial expert on it that said
remember,
they have a couple of months and then they'll need to get more money from somewhere.
Anybody that hasn't been signed in the last 2 seasons won't have a relegation clause in their contract. So I would imagine you would think they were smart enough that when they came close to the drop, not last season, the season before, anybody that was signing an extension or was signing for them, they should have inserted. I don't think Pickford has had I don't think he's signed a new deal, has he?
No.
I know for a fact that he didn't have a relegation clause. But like, yeah, Gav's right. Like, if they can't shift those players on those big wages, they're going to be goose. And don't forget, even if they do, they still have to replace those players. Who are you replacing them with?
But then all the money you get from the Premier League and your shirt sponsors and your stadium sponsors and the match day. I don't think match day revenue will be affected. In fairness, I think Everton fans will turn up anyway. But it's just a massive loss of money, and they're already struggling to pay what they owe here, and to drop down that division is just like whatever you owe now, double it. And you're only and literally double it, and your ability to repay it is probably at 50%, as with now being 100%.
And your losses shrink as well, don't they?
Yeah.
You're only allowed to do 60
million.
The
football league it's mad. And
the
then
PSR could impact on them as well, the new rules. Like, I'm thinking, you thought the saying they could do a Leeds or Sunderland and free fall or Portsmouth or whatever. Could do a Villa. They remind me of Villa, a big club that were just dying of death in the Premier League. Remember Villa were like that? They were hanging on for years and eventually they got relegated. They rebuilt it and they came back up. They have a big stadium, they have a big fan base. Everton have the new stadium, apparently the houseboat, and they'll have the fans will go there. If they can get their ownership right, I agree with what you're saying. There's huge ramifications if they get it wrong.
But if I'm a businessman, I don't go near them. But you see, if you're a businessman and you buy that club for whatever, and I think they owe something between 400 and 600 million, right? Why the fuck are you going near them now? Because you will have 30 days in January to influence this season. That's it. Right? And it'll mean you coming in, buying that club, right? Somehow getting more money into it to buy more players, which I don't think that it's actually possible, right? And then hoping against hope you don't go down. Whereas you could sit there and go, do you know what? They might go down. Do you know what I mean? Whatever. They might even go into administration. And whatever the debt is, I can come in and buy it. Do you know what I mean? I can come in. Like, I just don't understand a businessman going in there right now. I really don't. And I know the asset is there in the stadium, but the asset's you only see the maturity in that asset if you're in the top league. And I promise you, if you go down, you have a 50,000 fucking CR noose around your neck and trying to get through and trying to pay off all that debt.
That's where
mad.
the
I think if
Middle
they
East
go
money would have
down
been ideal for that. They look for the big stadium, don't they? The Man City got that new stadium, and
Yeah.
Abu Dhabi bought them because there's a stadium in place. And Chelsea, Roman Abramovich, they're in London when he bought Chelsea, and it's like, right, the stadium might, but you can't get that Middle East investment anymore at the top end because they're not allowed to spend the state of fucking Newcastle. You know what I mean? Because the rules are now put in place to stop that sort of thing from happening.
Yeah.
I think if they go down, you're looking at a minimum 5 seasons.
I think it would feel to me like if they went down, they would need to come straight back up, take a huge risk on the players they have under contract and try to keep paying them to get them back up. And if it doesn't work,
that's when it blows up.
Armageddon. Yeah. But anyway, keep doing that thing you done on Saturday. Tuning up with 3 to go and lose 3-2. Like I'm all over.
It's not all negative with the Ev. I absolutely love Spirit of the Blues. I think it's the best football song that's come out in the last 100 years.
And I think one of the lines in the song is not being used to losing, something like that.
Yeah, I know. The irony of the song is just out. It's like a status quo song. For any kids out there, status quo were abandoned in the 60s, 70s and into the 80s, haven't been heard of since. And this is pure status quo about how great Everton are. It is fucking amazing. Get on it. I love it. It's a great
status quo. Every status quo song was only like 3 chords or something like that, wasn't it? Or something.
I thought it was a status quo song.
The woo in the middle of it is my favourite bit.
Oh, I love it.
What could we put in here? Fuck a woo in. Be grand. You know what I mean?
You never have too many woos in the song.
You know what I mean?
love it.
Anyone got any more awards?
It's either
throw
a woo
in
or
and we
a
go for a
boo.
point. Yeah, it's fantastic.
I
Anyway, I couldn't let tonight go without mentioning them. Anyway, that's us. I think we've done. Oh Jesus, an hour and 26. Jesus, way too long. But anyway, we've had a lovely day. Liverpool have beaten Manchester United. We've got to talk about the Ev. Stop paying your Sky subscription because then you don't have to watch Gary Neville. And I think we've covered everything else other than that. Thanks a million. Oh, before I go, football prizes. Luis Diaz, funny enough, football prizes. The link is in the description. It closes at Tuesday at 7:30, I think. It's a signed and framed Luis Diaz shirt. There's 19 instant prizes as well, including hospitality tickets to Anfield and some other players with signed shirts. But this one is signed and framed, LED lights, all that sort of messing. Go and check them out. It's in the show description. Also in the description is links to our charity, Fan Supporting Food Banks and the Lighthouse. If you can give us a donation, please do. And Phil's one is there with Laura Lynn as well. I'm going off to check my fancy football, see where I am in that league. Because whoever entered that league for Phil, you've given 500 quid to charity and there's 500 quid in the pot to see you win that as well. So thanks a million for that. We could be back tomorrow. We'll see how the week goes. It is international break, so I'm going to round up the lads. I'm going to ask them will they do quizzes and drafts, and then they'll all just ignore me and tell me they're walking and all. My missus wants to go out tonight, all this sort of mess.
Washing my hair that night.
Yeah, but I'll try to get a few boys together as the weeks goes on, and we'll try to bring you a podcast today during the international break. Thanks to Keith, thanks to Emmet, thanks to everyone in the chat. That's it, Liverpool 3. United 0. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And as the fans say, woo!